Tonight, tonight, we are here to see just how much of a liar Amanda Seals might be. We are here to see how much of a liar Candace Owens might be. Okay? We're here to see just how much of a liar some of us might be that, say that there were strange things that happened Saturday, that were a little bit more unusual than the untrained eye might pay attention to. Okay? So, first thing I want to get into is this clip here from Undisputed. Shout out to the brother Rashad. Once again, I hope y'all like and subscribe. Not only my channel, but his channel as well. I'm going to get into this real quick.
Attempted assassination against former President Donald Trump. Republican blames black employees. Let me first highlight something interesting. Many at the rally that Trump was at saw the gunman allegedly prior to the shooting, with millions watching and
So
many people
apparently,
benefiting from this.
They have footage right here of. I want to show this real quick. So they had footage of the actual
roof. Look, there he is right there.
And first thing I thought of when I saw this was, okay, you mean to tell me about 20 or 30 different people saw a kid climbing on top of a roof and none of them went over there and said, hey, what are you doing up there? Everybody just pretty much pulled out their phones and just started recording and saying, hey, do you see that kid on the roof? Hey, what's he doing? Do you see what's going on over there? So that was the first thing that was particularly odd. The second thing about this that's particularly odd, let me just keep going real quick.
Right there, you see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
So
What's happening?
look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 people just right here alone.
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before.
About 10 different people back.
We're going to make it.
Yeah, look, there he is.
Because we have millions
At this kid right here that has now climbed
of people.
I'm gonna say whatever this structure was right here. However he got up here, and that was another thing. Everyone was asking, how in the hell did he even climb up here? Because of how high it was. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see this kid having a grappling hook or some type of Batman gear or Spider-Man suit to be able to even climb up here. So who placed him up here? That's my question. This is the things that I start asking myself. Who placed this child up here?
In our country that shouldn't be here. Danger.
Second thing is, let me rewind back 10 seconds real quick.
Better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look, there he is.
Because we
As
have
we see
millions
him,
and millions of
Now, as we see him, now of course we see words in front of it, but
people in our country that shouldn't
does anybody see any type of assault weapon?
be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that
On the roof.
Now, as I look at this angle right here,
much tougher than it
listen, I just keep seeing someone just crawling and moving and crawling and moving. I do not see any type of weapon. And then when I see the frail arms that are barely able to even move across this roof, I start to ask myself again the same question that I said when I saw the picture of this kid, right? Show you a picture of this kid. This is the shit that baffles me. This is the type of shit that goes on in my brain, okay? First of all, I want y'all to understand of who we looking at on top of this roof, okay? This is who we looking at on top of this roof, okay? Understand this. This is the young gentleman that supposedly was killed the same time he jumped up on top of this roof. Now, I'm just saying. Here's 3 things that stand out to me, right? get the joke off real quick. First of all, already looks like, from judging from the blood in his, give you a closer picture of what I'm talking about here. The blood in his teeth from the braces. Okay, look like he was punching his face prior to taking this picture. That's one thing. Zoom out. Okay. Before the headlines came out, and I wish I was able to pod about this before I even saw the picture, or should I say, as soon as I saw the picture. As soon as I saw this, I said, yo, they're going to run the same headline that they run about all the same mass shooters. He was bullied in school. I'm like, yo, they going to run the same bit to us? They going to run the same exact bit to us. He was bullied in school. Yo. And then they gonna give us the actual profile of a dude that looked like he got bullied. I'm like, yo, they really Hollywooding this one out. With the American flag on his shirt. I'm like, yeah, y'all could have gave him a better name than Thomas Crooks. Y'all could have gave the kid a better name than this. Y'all could have gave him a much better name than this. But then I see this article. And I said, oh, y'all fucked up. Investment giant BlackRock pulls ad featuring Trump rally shooter. Thomas Matthew Crooks, the 20-year-old who shot at former President Donald Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania, had briefly appeared in a 2022 advertisement for BlackRock Inc., the world's largest money manager. Get that. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all gotta be. This is the shit that I'm. Listen. BlackRock Inc. I've done the pod before on BlackRock, okay? And the investments that they have with, let's just say, the elites. So it's little things like that when I see the name BlackRock Inc., of course y'all saying y'all gotta pull the ad. Of course y'all gotta pull the ad. Because now y'all don't want nobody to realize the investor behind Mr. Trump. See, it's little things like
See,
that.
little shit like that lets me further know what it is you really do.
You gotta pay attention to shit like that. You must pay attention when you see certain names in these articles. You have to pay attention. What up, Juju? Novus, what it do? What it do? Emmy Mendez, what up? You have to pay attention when you see certain names in these articles. The ad filmed at the Bethel Park High School in Pennsylvania. Oh, ain't that where the Trump rally was? Featured Crooks and several other unpaid students in the background, said the investment giant in a statement. Crooks graduated from the school in 2022, it says. Now, this
From the
is
school, and especially that guy made this place.
Music real quick, I think.
The school, and they say, that guy made this place.
This is him right here. Pretty much. Now, when I see things like this, I'm like, hold up. So, he was in an advanced class. This kid was in an advanced class at that. Am I right? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I'm just saying, does this look like the kid that would have something against Donald Trump to get on top of a roof with a rifle? I am just asking questions here. Does this look like the person that would get on top of a roof and can barely hold the rifle, let alone shoot it? Does this look like the person that was climbing on top of that? Just like I said, this is what I'm saying. You getting bullied in advanced classes? Really? Excuse me? Wait a minute. It's something ain't adding up here. It's little things that ain't adding. Like I said, and BlackRock was one of the biggest ones that caught my eye. Cause I was like, yo, the investor is right in front of you. Like I said, little things hide in plain sight. Little things hide in plain sight. Of course you gonna pull the ad with the kid in it. Of course. And then look, ain't too many people even reporting on that part when you pull that up. You see what it said? Investment giant. BlackRock. It's little things, like I said, it's, man, let me go back to Rashad real quick. So, again, the gentleman is on top of the roof here. And once again, yet none of the 20 people that are standing around on their phones watching, even this guy with his blue hat poking out, looks like the Toasty from Mortal Kombat, right? Toasty! Looking up on top of the roof. Like, oh shit, there's somebody up there. I should tell someone. Biggest question I'm asking is, why is there no Secret Service? If this is Donald Trump here, protected billionaire Donald Trump, or whatever have you, why is there no Secret Service, FBI, somebody on the outskirts of these concerts? You mean to tell me 30 people in the back was able to say, hey, there's a guy on the roof with no type of guy wearing some shades in the suit saying, yo, shoot him down. Do you see him? These are the questions that get asked.
Then minutes later, this happened.
Allegedly.
And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
President Biden provided multiple responses.
Now, we have eyes and ears, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Let's rewind something real quick. Because we can clearly see the concert from where this angle is, correct?
Look, they're all pointing.
Hold on. Slow that back now.
1% of the viewers to become a paid.
Okay, so the concert is this way, correct? The concert is over this way, right? We can even say about right here, right? Say the rally is about right here. Correct? So, there's no Secret Service. No FBI, no CIA, no nothing. Across this part right here. It's absolutely nobody but civilians. So, even the unsmartest of smart could have just hopped the gate. Or if they wanted to, just park the car over here and said, okay, there's nobody over here. Let me just hop this gate over here and hop up here. You're on top of this roof. Right. This is my question. With the Secret Service is on the other side. The Secret Service is way over here, supposedly. Supposedly the sniper. And this is the second question again. We're gonna ask this later. How is it that y'all were able to see and shoot him from over here, from all the way over there, to all the way over here? This is the questions that I ask. Okay, so y'all, the Secret Service was supposedly on the other side of Trump, right to the right. The Secret Service is on the right side. The shooter came from the left side. We just saw what the Trump rally was in the corner of the left side, right? Supposedly the Secret Service is to the right of that rally because they couldn't have been where the shooter was on the left side, correct? This is certain things I'm identifying here. Yeah, if the shooter came from this side, Trump would have saw him. Or maybe not. Okay, let me not even jump that far, right? Trump would have not seen him, but if the supposed Secret Service was able to assassinate him, or should I say, able to shoot him from that right side, how did they not see him ahead of time? These are the little things you gotta start asking yourself. What's going on, Miss Zane? What's going on? This the little things like that you gotta start asking yourself. If the Secret Service is way over here and was able to hit him before he was able to get down, right? That's the story that they put, right? They shot him down on the roof, and he fell off the roof. I thought the story was he got away, but that was the first one they said that he got away. Then 2 days later he got killed on the scene. Like, all right. How is it that y'all was able to shoot him after the fact? If y'all didn't see him ahead of time. Let's play back just that part right there in the beginning of the rally, right? Beginning of the rally. So like I said,
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone coming off of the roof.
there,
Look,
right?
there
He
he is
is
right
over
there.
here, able to.
Right there, see him?
So
He's laying
he's
down.
gonna
See him?
climb,
Yeah,
of
he's
course, to
laying
the
down.
edge of this over to the left, right? The rally is right there.
What's happening?
He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
The rally is right over here. So you mean to tell me Secret Service was able to shoot him down from over there, but they was not able to see him get up there ahead of time? On top of the fact that these 30 to 40 people back here was able to see him get their cell phones out and say, hey, there's a guy on the roof. Before FBI, Secret Service, or anybody else was able to run and jog back there in their suits and shades and say, hey, get that guy on the roof. Hey, you see that guy? Secret Service with the sniper. You see that guy on the roof over here? Hey, hit him down. You see him? Get him down. You mean to tell me nobody was over there seeing it? All right. We'll go with that.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
There he is.
Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have...
I would hope there was a ladder.
People that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
I would hope it was a ladder, because I was asking that too. I was like, did he got the Batman grappling hook? Did he got some type of Spider-Man glove or something to get on top of this little container right here and then jump up there? Or he got some type of Vince Carter, he got the old V-Shocks or something. I'm just saying. Who put this boy up here?
Then minutes later, this happened.
Holden, if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, left one rally attendee dead, another 2 injured. Trump himself was left bloodied, as you know, after suffering a wound to his ear. The shooter, identified as 20-year-old Thomas Crooks, was killed by Secret Service snipers. There's a lot of rhetoric, a lot of conspiracy theory, and it comes down to basic distrust of our political norms.
I'm glad you said that. So I'm going to leave it to a former, allegedly a former Secret Service person that law and crime was talking to, right? And even they had some interesting questions about this whole thing.
Police were supposed to cover that building and or that roof. The buck stops on the desk of the Secret Service. It was their security plan. It's their responsibility. They'll need to step up and say that.
b.l.a.c straight up calls the shooting a failure on the part of the Secret Service, but says there are several things that could have contributed to the oversights. So what went wrong here? I mean, it seems like it could have been a domino effect, one thing after another, but to me, there were some pretty big glaring errors. How did this even happen?
Yeah, I actually just dropped a column for MSNBC Daily online where I write a regular column, and it digs deeply into the potential scenarios that led to this fatality. Let's please not forget that while it was a near miss for former President Trump, it was a fatal shot for a spectator, and two other spectators now are in the hospital. So this was about as close a call you're going to get for a presidential candidate as you'll ever see.
In his column, b.l.a.c writes, "The Secret Service failed Saturday. America deserves to know why."
What do I say in my column? I look at potential scenarios. One, this is not conjecture. It's largely based on what we've already known and reported, which is the Secret Service was well aware of this building and the potential risk it posed. That's coming from multiple sources at Secret Service to multiple media outlets. The distance from the building to the podium, based on the elevated nature of this building, which gives the high ground to a potential bad guy, they clearly identified it as a threat. Yet, mysteriously, they chose to put it outside the Secret Service perimeter of responsibility. Now, that means likely that it was delegated to state or local police to cover, and that there had to be some level of detail about what cover means. Are you going to post officers on the ground and simply prevent people from getting into the building? That's nice. Are you also going to put someone on the roof or have eyes on that roof? Because again, it's not the Secret Service perimeter, so it's yours. And that had to be clearly communicated.
b.l.a.c says there was major oversight in one extremely important area.
So what's happened here? A failure to communicate, almost guaranteed. Finger pointing, I thought you had it. No, I thought you had it. There's another scenario that I've seen and don't like at all, because in my FBI experience, it leads to catastrophe. And that's the possibility of mixed responsibilities. Hey, our Secret Service snipers and police snipers will cover that roof. We've got the roof. What you need to do, police department, is cover the ground so that no one is ever going to get in that building. You've locked it down. You've talked to the owner. You've got the locks and keys. Well, what are we hearing? The owner of that building is saying, no one ever talked to me, not before, during the advance for the rally, and not after the shooting. So we have a serious breakdown here.
According to b.l.a.c, communication wasn't the only oversight. In fact, it was the area of the rally that the Secret Service knowingly didn't cover. We spoke about the jurisdiction, so to speak, whether it was the local authorities' responsibility or the Secret Service to kind of guard or keep an eye on that area. And some of the reports I've seen say the shooter was only 500 feet away. So how did they make that determination that it should be the local authorities covering that area? Because I'm assuming they're not trained in the same way as the Secret Service.
You are.
The local authorities, meaning like the regular police in the area, was supposed to be covering a kid getting up on top of a roof. Not the Secret Service that was covering the rally. Not the supposed FBI and CIA to follow him. Because we all know the CIA does follow him, right? Not that, right? The local authorities were supposed to be covering the rooftops and the outskirts of the event that day. Were they hired to? And even if they weren't, if you knew that they weren't hired to, why weren't y'all out there?
You are assuming correct, and that's a hard question, because you really can't have your this both ways. You can't say, "Oh yes, during the advance we recognized this building as a threat, and by the way, it's outside our perimeter and we gave it to the police." Now, we haven't, I want to be careful. We have not heard that line per se from the Secret Service. In fact, they've been incredibly closed mouth here. They haven't stepped up and said, "We own this. We're always responsible no matter what." They've just hunkered down and said nothing. But yeah, it's inconsistent to say high ground, threat, well within a rifle range, and comma, yeah, we gave it to somebody else. Very, very inconsistent. They never give up the high ground. They certainly measure. They know the counter sniper team for Secret Service comes in on an advance. They do a measurement. Hey, that building's 150 yards away. That's an easy shot, even for a rookie with a rifle. We've got to cover it. And then, let's give it to the locals. Something's inconsistent there.
So Figluzzi says not only were there inconsistencies, but potential security measures that were overlooked, like the simple...
You giving it to the locals, but you got snipers that can shoot almost 1,000 feet across the whole stadium or rally. Really?
Step of checking and double checking when it comes to backup.
The other thing that happens throughout an event like this, and I've been on many of them, is you do constant periodic check-ins with your posts. What does that sound like? You get on the radio, or I've seen people physically go around. That's a great practice. Hey, post number 1. You got the building, right? You awake? You okay? Have you been shot? Abducted? You eating a sandwich? All good on post 1? Get the feedback. Yeah, all good, post 1. That's like 101.
All right, I think we back. All right, so this is 101 when you talking about at least just circling the perimeters. That's just a former Secret Service agent saying that. It's 101 where there's supposed to be guys at least just circling and walking around. There should have at least been 2 or 3 guys in that vicinity and one just walking around saying, yo, clear, 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 clear around the entire corners of the rally. It just so happened on this particular day, all of a sudden, there's nobody covering the left side. I find that ironic when we keep talking about, what did they say in the news? What did Kevin Roberts say in the news? Oh, if the left side allows it. So you put a scenario where the left side gets it. I got it. I see what y'all doing.
Special event posts. So what happened here? Did that happen? Did somebody get on the radio and say, hey, high building, you good on post 1? No answer. Did the police go, yeah, we're good. We're eating sandwiches. I don't understand, but I will tell you this, the Secret Service model is based on multiple redundancies and layers of security so that if one fails, they've got backup, right? Everything failed. So I don't get it.
Security measures aside, there is some concern that federal and local authorities dismissed the warning signs brought up by witnesses at the rally.
And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit... He's going down!
He was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
Binoculars.
him? Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof...
Probably not, because the roof. Before he can even finish that sentence, let me help y'all understand what this man just said. Right? They were literally telling the police, the security, the Secret Service, whoever have you, that was guarding the area. Right? They told the security, "Yo, there's a guy on the roof. Y'all should look at that. There's a guy on the roof. He might have a gun. Y'all should look at that." They were literally telling them that for minutes at a time. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in that type of high-level security training, aren't y'all trained to move by the fucking second? If not by the damn near the millisecond on something like that. There should have been red dots on his ass the second civilian said, "Yo, there's a guy on the..." There should have been walkie-talkies moving, and I'm trying to tell you, bruh. This is why the guy is saying, yo, there's something else going on with this particular thing right here. For the fact that nobody was over there.
The way the slope went, he was behind where they could see.
Now, I know one of the big questions on everyone's mind, there are many that are unanswered, but what people are really clamoring toward is why may the Secret Service or any local officials there have ignored some of the warnings? I mean, we've seen the video of people saying, hey, there's someone up on the roof over there. Why might these warnings, so to speak, have been ignored?
Well, it's not, I see it as not, so, I'm with you. I see it as not so much ignored with regard to the spectators pointing and shouting to the police, but rather a dropped ball and confusion. What the spectators are describing is officers kind of looking at them saying, what are you talking about? What roof? What do you see? We don't see it. And what that means is the officers were not getting on their radio, right? They're not, get on the radio. We had witnesses saying something's up on the roof. Constant communication. So will this investigation find that they weren't on the same frequency as Secret Service? That's a huge problem. I've seen this happen. It's a huge problem because the Secret Service guards their frequency very carefully, and they use an encrypted federal frequency. So they might give one walkie-talkie to one officer in one department and say, you're the keeper of the federal radio. This gets very odd. The Secret Service may have a police radio that's unencrypted, so they can hear police traffic. But what this gets back to, Sierra, is something we already talked about: confusion and misunderstanding about who was responsible for what, right? So if the police are like, yeah, what roof? That's a sign to me that they didn't know they were responsible for the roof. Right? If they were.
Roof?
We have reports now, multiple reports, that an officer went up a ladder or climbed up to the roof because of the spectators' concerns, took a look at the shooter. Shooter looked at him. Officer reportedly went back down the ladder. Okay? So, did that officer get on the...
You heard it right there. You heard it from somebody right there. There was reports that an officer got on the damn roof, looked at the shooter, and then got back down. So think about what correlation with what the guy just said, right? Yo, we was telling the security, yo, it's a guy up there. So somebody probably went up there and said, yo, you all right? You need a drink? You just chilling up here, and I'm saying you need a hot dog or something? You just enjoying the view? All right, cool. We understand you couldn't get in. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got a rifle with you? Yo, that joint look alright. You look like the same. That's a better rifle than the Secret Service got over there. Yo, you need some water while you up here? All right, yo, I'm gonna go back downstairs. What? Somebody went up there, saw him up there, and didn't do nothing, and came right on back down.
Radio and give an emergency signal. I have contact. Typically it's contact, shooter. I don't know. And because this is important to find out, because if that officer had said shooter on roof, I have contact, which means I have an armed person, that Secret Service sniper or other sniper could have taken that guy out in a millisecond, and shots never would have been fired at former President Trump.
Yo,
now we're still working to learn more about the shooter, obviously.
Bruh. Every time I see this damn ear, hold on.
Officer reportedly climbed up. That's a sign to already talked about President Trump.
Now, we're still working to learn more about the shooter.
Could have taken that guy out in a millisecond, and shots never would have been fired at former President Trump.
Now, we're still...
Or other sniper.
Yo, every time I see this ear, yo. Every time I see this ear, I need y'all to understand when we talked about last time on the pod. And I'm not saying nothing but I'm just asking questions. If a rifle bullet hit his ear, would the top of that ear be there? Now, I heard about the other reports of supposedly some shards of glass had cut his ear. From where? From where? Even in the moment of the shit, where? It's the little... What bullet in the world? What bullet in the world? What rifle bullet in the world? Was this a Roger Rabbit rifle? Was these Roger Rabbit bullets?
It's important to find out, because if that officer had said, shooter on roof, I have contact, which means I have an armed person, that Secret Service sniper or other sniper could have taken that guy out in a millisecond, and shots never would have been fired at former President Trump.
Now, we're still working to learn more about the shooter. Obviously, it's...
He said it. I just said that. You mean to tell me y'all didn't notice him till after the fact? Someone went up the ladder, saw him, went back down the ladder. People saw him, kept telling y'all people was up there on, near the guy looking at him, saying, yo, it's a guy up there. You see him. He got a gun. Like, it... I'm just saying, what's good, Teresa? It's just the little things. It's just the little things. For 3 minutes. For 3 minutes. You was up there aiming for about 3 to 4 minutes. Not only was the Secret Service not on that side purposely, but they also didn't take the shot at you when they knew you was up there? What? I wish I had the Jackie Chan what the fuck face right there. What? Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. So like I said, let's wrap all this up real quick. He was on top of the roof for about 4 to 5 minutes, let's say. Give or take. On top of about 30 people seeing him go up there. Get comfortable up there. Having security go up there. Check on him. Come back down. Secret Service across the field. Got him in scope view. That was another thing. The glass from the teleprompter. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did the teleprompter even get shot? And if it did, okay. But you mean to tell me the glass traveled that far and hit him directly in his ear like that? Sharp ass piece of glass, just Final Destination, right on Donald Trump ear. From that far. We saw what a teleprompter was. That's the thing. Like, I'm glad you pointed that out, Juju. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. Because that's another thing. Even if the glass did, or should I say, even if the glass was supposedly the thing that hit you, how was the glass going to hit you from that far? Directly like that on top of your ear like that. Nothing else. Just your ear. It's little things that that people just not seeing, bro.
Only been a couple of days.
Yes,
since
this is exactly why it was done
incident.
in PA.
But we do know he's a 20-year-old person.
Stupid shit like this
to me,
off.
that's almost a kid. He can't even legally drink. So it's not in the way that he's this mastermind assassin who's been trained for years.
Thank you. And I like how they put that part in there, because here's the thing: he didn't have to be trained for years for that. Who's to say it was even this kid to do that? Who's to say it wasn't somebody that just was a lookalike that they put up here and then they put this picture up here? That's another thing, allegedly, right? Here's my thing. You on the news even telling us, yo, it wasn't like this kid was trained for this type of shit. And the first thing I said was, and of course there's people that, this is why it wasn't the first thing I said on here, but the first thing I thought of, do he look like somebody that can even hold up a motherfucking rifle? Let alone shoot the shit? In time? Of course, even if he had a goddamn rifle, of course he gonna miss. But I'm just asking the question of, who saw him get his frail little ass up there with a rifle? Because when I saw the clear video of him rolling up there with nothing but his body, I'm saying to myself, how he got a rifle up there, this frail little nigga? How? He barely could get up there himself from the video we just saw. And him crawling up there. He was holding a big rifle that could shoot across and hit. Now we got that too. That could shoot across, miss, and ricochet glass off a Bruh, this is getting more Hollywood. Do y'all hear the Hollywood production?
To me, it almost seems like he slipped through the radar.
Well, yeah, I mean, there isn't even any radar. He doesn't exist. He has virtually no social media, if any at all.
Now, that's another thing, and I wasn't even going to say that. I'm glad he said it. I wasn't even going to say that. I wasn't even going to say that part. He doesn't exist. He has no social media. He has no... Are we following here, y'all? Y'all following what I'm saying? I said it before, right? I said y'all could have at least gave him a better name. He has no social media. He has no nothing. He has no information. He doesn't exist. Y'all listening? Y'all listening?
The FBI, I was on a call this weekend for the media with the Department of Justice and FBI and Attorney General and the director. And they told us some interesting things. One of the things they said of interest was that they're almost solely focused on the shooter's phone right now. So that tells me that, yeah, the computer signature is not there. Social media is not there. It's all about his phone. And when they say they're focused on the phone, trying to gain access to the phone, what's that mean to us? It's encrypted. There's a password they can't break right now. That's what I took away from this. That's not their words, but my words. When they tell me they're focused on the phone, they're trying to access the phone. So look for, let's pay attention to what they find in that phone.
Officials have already begun the search of Crooks's home and personal information, and Figliuzzi expects even more details to come out in the coming weeks.
By the way, there'll be a complete overlay, usually computer-assisted graphics. You'll see a really state-of-the-art, minute-by-minute creation of what he ate for breakfast that morning, where how he traveled. They'll use this from cell phone tracking, right? From any highway tolls, any cameras in the area. They will have a story to tell visually and audibly from his breakfast that morning all the way to the shooting. And they'll gather every witness's cell phone. They'll gather the media coverage footage. They'll gather the Secret Service radio traffic, the police radio traffic. All of that will be melded together to give us an actual step-by-step account of what happened and when.
While investigators are still searching for a motive to the crime itself, there's still the lingering question of how the gunman was able to pull the trigger at all.
The larger question, Sarah, is why? Okay, so why? Yeah, we all agree there's a breakdown. Why? I predict we're going to continue to hear that the Secret Service is stretched way beyond capacity right now. I believe this has been the case for a long time. We've been hearing this back through the Trump administration. He has a large family. They're covering all his family members. The Secret Service is protecting Anthony Fauci at the Centers for Disease Control because of death threats. They're protecting everybody, and it's too many. And by the way, they still investigate counterfeit currency, bad checks, internet fraud, financial crimes. When they can squeeze in the president, they get that done too.
When they squeeze in the president, they get that done too. Yeah. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, Emil Mendez. You hit the nail on the noggin. How many times we gonna fall for the same banana peel before we notice it's there, right? It's bright yellow. it's bright yellow. I'm just saying. All these same scenarios. It's like another episode of Law and Order. You've seen this same exact thing play out in front of you. That's why I mentioned how many times are you gonna run the same soap opera bit of he was bullied in school? How many times you gonna throw that one out there for your 60 minutes Netflix documentaries? It slaps in the face at this point. It's just huge slaps in the face to the American people that you keep trying to run this same story to people. And furthermore, look at this. Okay? Look at this here. So, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, that's going to zoom it out. But, matter of fact, let me do this. I'll help y'all out. Help it out a little bit. Cover. And move myself. So, what it do, King? What it do, my brother? Have the shooter over here, right? So we saw that the people were all gathered around right here. Let's say the fence started about right here, right? The fence started about right here. Trump stage about right here. Snipers right here. Trump shooter getting his ass on top of everything. In between shit. About right here. Right? So, as I asked before, how is it the Secret Service could not see him from here? It's a direct angle. Correct? Direct angle. So that's why I said, you clearly saw this man up here. You clearly. And I mean clearly saw him up here. It wasn't like you had him in a blind spot. You didn't have him in a blind spot because Trump stage right here. This wasn't no blind spot. Because, notice what it says, counter sniper team. So it ain't like it's just one guy standing up here with a blind spot to this. It's at least 4 to 5 motherfuckers up here. They should be looking from here to 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 here all around this motherfucker. It should not be a single blind spot that misses this motherfucker right here. This is why you ask the questions that you ask. Furthermore, I said the Trump evacuation point was here. So, of course, it's right behind the stage, of course. You get him out of there as close as you can, right? The shooter still got you in view. Let's just say, the shooter still got you in view. Even if the shooter really wanted to kill you and he was trained like that, Trump would have been dead. This is a regular person. This is an actual trained assassin. Let's just say that. Okay? The other thing is, someone lost their life here. Let's not ignore that. I'm going to also say and give my condolences to the person that lost their life here, right? I hate when there are unfortunate casualties of these type of things. We do have to be mindful of that as well. Let us not forget, though, this is the same person that said there will not be bloodshed if the left allows it. So, yes, very similar to Oswald. The thing is, that campaign over there wants this type of thing to happen anyway. They want these types of events to happen. This is his way of threatening America without actually threatening America. This is the thing that people do not realize. Now all of a sudden Trump is a hero, right? We hear earlier his felony case is all of a sudden dismissed of the classified documents. All of a sudden that case is dismissed. So he's still a felon. He's still a felony. He's still a felon president, but or should I say felon candidate. He's still a felon candidate for presidency in the United States of America. But today, amid him being shot at during his rally, they somehow wanted to correlate that with, let's drop the case of his classifieds. He can keep the files. We don't care anymore that he's keeping government classified information. We don't care anymore about that. He just got shot at. Go enjoy a vacation. Here, take your ankle monitor off. You're fine. Go golf on the same burial grounds of your ex. Go golf on that. You know. This is who had their case dismissed today. This is who we're talking about here.